Hi, and welcome back to Finding Gratitude. We're on worksheet 3 today, which means we're focusing in on the daily practice of finding gratitude. And we're going to talk about some real practical steps you need to take. Let's start with some tools that you will need. You will need a gratitude journal. Now, you can go out and buy a lovely gratitude journal, but no need. Be practical. Just find a notebook that you have at home or in your office. These are two examples. And then designate this notebook as your gratitude journal. You will only use this notebook to record your gratitudes every day. Nothing else goes in this book. Then decide what you're going to use to write in it, pen, pencil. Make sure you keep it with this journal so that it's easily accessed when you need it. Now you're going to be using this journal every morning and every evening. So figure out the most appropriate place for you to keep this journal and pen so that you can access it and not have any excuse to not do this work. So for me, the most practical place for me to keep my journal is right next to my bed. That way I can reach for it in the morning, I can reach for it in the evening before I go to sleep, and I have no more excuses. Make it work for you. Where are you going to keep it? Okay? Now let's jump into what you need to do every morning and every evening. Your morning practice should take no more than 3 to 5 minutes. I know mornings are busy, so I'm keeping this streamlined and easy for you, but it's really important. Before you get caught up in the busyness of the day and all of your responsibilities that you face, you need to take a few minutes to do this work. For me, I like to do it before I get out of bed because otherwise I know I'm going to get caught up in the day and I may well not come back to do this work. You need to figure out how this is going to work for you. But essentially what you need to do is you need to come up with 3 things for which you are grateful. They don't have to be big things. They can be small things. I know some days it's going to be more challenging to come up with them than others, but take the little bit of time that's needed and come up with 3 things. Document them in your journal. These don't have to be long paragraphs describing about how you feel about these. Just literally the 3 things that you're grateful for. And then one more thing before you get started with your day. I want you to think about and document one thing that you are excited about for the day that lies ahead. And if excited feels a little more than you had planned for the day or more than you can handle first thing in the morning, I want you to think of one thing that you are looking forward to for the day. I know there are some days when thinking of anything that you're looking forward to is a challenge. That's exactly when you need to do the work. You have to think about one thing and come up with one thing that you're looking forward to. I don't care how small and insignificant it may seem. I know some days the one thing I'm most looking forward to is my first cup of coffee. Maybe you have more exciting lives than I do. Hopefully you do. But whatever that thing is, document it. And again, you don't need to put down a long, elaborate description, just the one thing that you're looking forward to or that you're excited about. And there you are. You've done your morning practice. And you've already begun to train your mind to frame your day before you even begin it in a more positive way that sets you up to be much more focused on what you have than on what you don't have. Okay? So, I know mornings are challenging. I am not a morning person. So, whenever you're trying to establish a new habit, you need to think about where you're going to come unstuck, where you're going to have challenges and difficulties, and then plan for that. So, when you start thinking about how are you going to put this into practice, and you know that mornings are a challenge for you. Maybe you're not, maybe you don't mind getting up early or anything like that, but you just know you have so much to do in the morning. Well, how are you going to handle it then? How are you going to make sure that you do this work on a daily basis? Because remember, if you're establishing a new habit, you have got to do the work on a daily basis, deliberately and consistently in order for it to become a habit. So what are you going to do? Think about how you could set up a reminder for yourself. Perhaps you can set an alarm on your phone that reminds you to record your gratitudes in your journal. Perhaps you have a little note card or a post-it note next to your bed that reminds you about why this is important to you. Some kind of trigger that helps you on those days when you don't feel like doing it, helps you to do the work. I need you to think about what you're going to do to prepare yourself for the challenges of days when you don't want to do this. So, your evening practice. Even simpler. Right at the end of the day, I like to do it when I get into bed at night. Pick up your journal, reflect on the day, and write down 3 things that you're grateful for. You can certainly choose the same 3 things that you chose in the morning, but I would challenge you to think of 3 other things. Write them down, and again, you don't have to write an essay around this. Just write down the 3 things that you're grateful for. But what a wonderful way to end the day on this note of gratitude, looking back on the day, and even if the day didn't work out perfectly, and how many days do, you find 3 things for which you were grateful. It's a great way to end the day. And again, plan around the challenges that you may face for that evening practice. You may be really tired at the end of the day. You may have very little energy. And so plan around how are you going to deal with that, and how are you going to figure out ways to make sure that you do this work. And that's it. So it's 3 to 5 minutes in the morning and 3 to 5 minutes in the evening, if that, to set you up for a habit that really can be transformative, a habit that's going to help you shift your mindset so that you're really aware of and grateful for the things in your life that make your life richer, and for you to notice the abundance that surrounds you, and for that to really transform your life in ways that you probably have never imagined. In the next video, we're going to talk about your weekly practice and just a wrap up of how we look back on a month of this practice and how we can use that as a tool moving forward. So check in on worksheet 3, look at those questions that are asked, make sure you think about them and prepare adequately before you begin your practice, and then come right back for the next video. Thank you.